can never take a positive in getting knocked out at the FA Cup, right? But but we do. Look, we do say. I mean, Liverpool got knocked out, right? Yeah. I guarantee Liverpool fans are saying, right, we'll just concentrate now on the. Obviously, we've got Newcastle, we've got the Premier League, got the Champions League, right?
Slightly different to the top four in the Conference League. Though.
Absolutely, but the same rationale can be thought because. I get it. Maybe it's lost in translation a little bit, but I know, and I've seen on social media some of the Chelsea fans are disappointed with what Maresca had to say. I'm pretty sure if you interviewed him now and he was sat here, he would say, no, what I'm saying is that now we've got this, we've got to make sure this is what counts. No excuses now. We don't have any other distractions. We've still got the Conference League is not for another month, I think. So we've got Brighton, got to get a result against Brighton. When I say a result, I mean a win. That's what a result is.
But it's so frustrating because when I looked at that West Ham game, we were coming into that off the back of some really poor form, and we were saying, no matter what, we just need a win.
Yeah.
And we got the win, and then we followed it up with a defeat. And now we're going back another 5 steps. We're in the same place as we were going into that West Ham, saying, well, it doesn't matter about the performance, but we just need a win against Brighton. But I feel like, Kwaku, we need a performance. We need to show something.
I feel like the Brighton game on Friday is actually just about the win. It's more about the win because if we play really well and we don't win, none of us will be sitting here in the next week saying, well, this is good. We just need to win. Wins cure everything. And for Chelsea, and as fans who've seen us win absolutely everything, it's disappointing because it kind of felt on the weekend that our season was over. Because to me, challenging for top four is great. Finishing in the top four is amazing. That's not a trophy. That is not a trophy. And the Conference League, as great as it is for the squad at the moment in terms of getting the minutes, it's not a major trophy. So for me, it felt like the season really came to a halt when we lost against Brighton on the weekend. But like you've all said, we need to beat Brighton. We need to beat them on Friday. Because if we don't, the top four hopes are in jeopardy. And I know the top five will probably get you into the Champions League, but I don't want to rest on those laurels. I want to finish this season strongly, and we need to get results and performances.
If I'd have asked you before the game on Friday, obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing. We know we're now out of the FA Cup. But if I could have asked you if you'd have, I know obviously ideally you want to win both games against Brighton, but if you could have only have picked one to win, you're saying obviously a trophy is a trophy, and for me personally this season, I think top four is more important than a trophy. I think personally, yeah. But so which game would you have rather won?
FA Cup.
Would you?
100%.
Would you?
Well, because okay, say we drop points in the league, there's another chance next week to get another 3 points. You've got another chance. But the FA Cup, it's a competition that we haven't won in such a long time. We were talking before the show. Last time we won it was 2018 against Manchester United in Conte's last season at the football club, a season where he finished outside the top four, ironically. And it's just not good enough. For a club like Chelsea, we need to be winning trophies consistently. The reason why we can beat Arsenal fans with a stick is because they don't win trophies.
Yeah,
but all this top four chase or running down Man City or Liverpool for the title, you don't win trophies. And that's the be-all and end-all for me as a Chelsea fan. And I get it in terms of finances, in terms of the stature of the club. Finishing top four is very important. But I want to win silverware. How many times have we been to Wembley, Liv, in recent years and not won and lost?
It's become a bit of
it's become a bogey ground for us. I just want to win major silverware. And until I see that, I won't be happy.
Yeah, see, I completely get your point, and I think any other season I would have been like, yes, a trophy is what we need. But I think right now, given where we are at as a club, personally for me this season, I think getting top four is more important than a trophy. But Jay, so are you stuck in the middle?
You can make a case for both. Look, winning a trophy, that's great, but it won't keep you in a job if we finish 10th. Right, we finished 10th, win the FA Cup. Maresca's job is under pressure. Yeah. Look, the FA Cup, we all know the history we've got with it, and again, we've gone out early. We had same thing under Potter. All right, he had 2 games away at Manchester City, which made that much harder. But we've limped out of both competitions. Yeah. Limped. And the weekend, that performance was nowhere near the level of what we want or expect and should expect. And Maresca should expect, and the fans should expect. So that's why I'm talking about this coming Friday. He has now got to come up with something because there were so many flaws in our game, and we're going to go into that. Yeah. Jackson clearly is going to be returning, which is a big... I mean, my gosh, how much can you say how much you miss Jackson, by the way?
We'll get onto that in just a second.
Absolutely, but big game for Maresca, this one, because if he loses both, here's us picking which one do we want to win and lose. You lose both of those, the natives are getting restless, and I'm sensing it and I'm feeling it. Right now, and I do every game of Chelsea TV, we are easy to play against. We're an easy team to play against. We don't cause teams enough problems. The passing is slow, it's backwards, it's sideways. We don't hurt teams enough. When we get free kicks, we allow teams to get back into the shape. Even when they are out of shape and we do get in behind, the first instinct is to come back. And we'll deep dive into what I thought certainly that Nkunku didn't offer that Jackson does. But right now, we are easy to play against. I don't think it's too difficult to set a team up to play against Chelsea and frustrate and annoy us because we don't move the ball quick enough. We don't use the... When we do get the ball wide, we don't get in behind them enough. When was the last time I saw genuinely... I know we've had problems out on the wide with various different players either going injured or... But Neto, run at your fullback. Sancho, run at your fullback. Noni Madueke, run at your fullback. Don't do that enough.
No, we don't. I mean, does this go further, Kwaku? I know we touched on Chelsea being, one of the most successful clubs over the last however many years. And do you think we're losing our identity a little bit? It's now, like Jay says, we're easy to beat. We're not going for... I know we got to the semi-final of the FA Cup last season, but the season before that we went out in the third round. Now we're out in the fourth round. And it's like, this is a team that used to be going all the way near enough every single season. But perhaps it's not even just now we've lost our identity. Maybe for the perhaps last couple of years we've lost our identity.
100%. And the Chelsea identity was... There was so many games in our golden era where we wouldn't play the best football. We weren't the best team. We just get results. Yeah. And how much did we love that when you just get results? Almost prefer it when you're not playing that well, but you get the result. Yeah. And we can talk about performances and how well people are playing, but for me, it's about getting either 3 points or getting to the latter stages of competitions. And we're not doing that. And like mentioned, despite the fact we haven't won the FA Cup for a while, we did get to 3 finals in a row. Well, obviously, we lost all of them. But I expect to go deep in competitions. People weren't too enamoured with Pochettino's season last year, but he got to the semi-final of the FA Cup, got to the final of the League Cup. I know we're probably going to get to the final of the Conference League, but I don't count that. I'm sorry to be disrespectful.
We should win it hands
We should win it hands down. There's never been a competition that a team has entered that they've been such overwhelming favourites as Chelsea in the Conference League this year. That doesn't matter to me. No. I want to pick up domestic silverware. I want to challenge in the league, and unfortunately, we're not doing that right now. We've got... Okay, it's not all doom and gloom. We've got some fundamental pieces. You mentioned Caicedo, you mentioned Cole Palmer, 2 of the best players, not just at our football club, but in the league. But in terms of how easy we are to play against, there's something not right in that midfield. There's something not right in our composition. And Maresca needs to figure that out because Lavia's not going to be back for a while.
It's difficult, Jace, and obviously you've spoken about, getting into the details of the game. Now, we're going to get onto the players that Kwaku's mentioned in Caicedo and Palmer, and we'll touch on Sancho. But first of all, I just want to talk to you about Sanchez and Jorgensen. Now, for the West Ham game, Maresca made that decision to take Sanchez out of the firing line and put Jorgensen in. So what did you make of his decision to then put Sanchez back in for this FA Cup game against Brighton? And what do you think that means?
I don't know. I don't know. We will find out on Friday evening because I felt that Jorgensen decision to play him in the Premier League was taking Sanchez out the firing line, which I said on the week before in the show, I felt that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I didn't see Sanchez coming back against Brighton. I think give him back-to-back games, West Ham, Brighton, and then I felt that Jorgensen would keep the gloves going in against Brighton in the league. Well, that threw me, the Sanchez one. Now a lot of people are saying maybe Sanchez is now our cup goalkeeper. We're out the FA Cup now. So there's only going to be the Conference League. Maybe that's the situation. We will know. Message me on Friday when the team comes out, and we'll swap messages because I can't help but think Jorgensen has to start. I don't get why you would put him in against West Ham. Return Sanchez. I don't get that decision to bring him at West Ham. So he has to start against Brighton. Yeah,
in my personal opinion is, like you were saying, Sanchez is now the cup competition goalkeeper.
That's what I've come up with.
And I mean, that's the only logical explanation because I don't think Jorgensen did anywhere near anything wrong against West Ham to justify being dropped.
Didn't have a chance with
no chance with the goal. So I think, I will be absolutely baffled if Robert Sanchez is in goal on Friday night. But I think it's Jorgensen. And I think if it is Jorgensen, and I think we know now for the rest of the season that Jorgensen is the Premier League and Sanchez is the...
We have to see on Friday. I'm not too sure because...
So you're thinking maybe that Sanchez is back in?
I don't know because if you think about any player that Maresca talks about, it's probably Sanchez is talked about him the most, right? Yeah. And he's kind of stuck his neck out for him. He's been like, he's my #1 goalkeeper. And I know that in recent weeks, he's been a little bit more critical, which he needs to be because Sanchez has not been playing well. But I don't know what he's going to do because I, like you guys, was surprised to see Sanchez in goal against Brighton. And the goalkeeper situation is obviously an issue. That's a problem. But that's not our biggest issue right now. Our biggest issue is the performances in front of the goalkeeper. But I expect it to be Jorgensen, but who knows what Maresca will do. What I just need him to do is pick a team that can get us 3 points. That's all I care about. That's all I care about.
Well, yeah, Maresca did say that he was just resting Sanchez for that West Ham game, but I suppose...
You can rotate players.
Not
you don't rotate...
Yeah.
Look, we'll find out. We'll have this conversation.
I'm so excited to find out.
We'll have this conversation next week, so we can pick the bones out of that.